Okay, we're gonna do an intermediate yoga flow. And before we start, I recommend having a couple of blocks or some kind of block-like thing, maybe a big book or anything you can find. And then we're gonna start at the top of our mat, feet about hips distance apart. Really ground down, feel into all four corners of the feet. Getting in touch with the breath. And then on your next inhale, tuck the tailbone and then reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step or hop back to chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog, shoulders away from ears. Exhale, downward facing dog. And breathe here. Maybe pedal the feet. Wrap the triceps in towards each other, and you might feel the musculature under the armpits engage. It's almost like you're trying to bring your armpits closer together, wrapping around the front of your body. Inhale, get length. Exhale, hop to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come back up. Exhale to the beginning. Again, inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen the back of the neck. Exhale, step or hop back into plank through chaturanga, and then inhale, upward facing dog, shoulders away from ears. Exhale, downward facing dog. And breathe here. Inhale, get length. Exhale, hop to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come up. Exhale, back to the beginning. On your next exhale, we're going to reach our fingertips to the mat. Inhale, keeping a bend in the knees. Reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hop back through chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, get length. Exhale, step the right foot in between the hands. Plant that back foot. And inhale, come up. Exhale, frame the foot with the hands, step back into plank. Inhale here. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, get length. Exhale, step the left foot between the hands, plant the back foot. Inhale, come up. Exhale, frame the foot with the hands. Inhale here. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And breathe. And we're going to put our right foot in the center of the mat, and then staying in downward dog and not raising the hips, just lifting from the back of the leg. We're going to lift our left leg up, trying to keep our hips in like in line, squared with the mat. So not letting it kind of wrap around up like that, but keeping it level. And then return. And let's switch sides. So left foot in the center of the mat. Inhale, come up. Exhale, return. Inhale, get length. Exhale, hop to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Bend your knees deeply. Inhale. Chair. Exhale. Stand up. Oh, again. Exhale. Touch your fingers to the mat. Inhale. Chair. Exhale. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step back into plank through chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Through, and then bring your right foot in between your hands. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, return to plank, chaturanga. Inhale. Exhale, down dog. Left foot between hands. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, frame the foot with the hands. Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And breathe here. Inhale, get length. Exhale, step or hop to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Bend your knees deeply. Inhale, chair. Exhale, return to the beginning. Whew. My second yoga today. Oh, did an hour and a half session earlier today. I'm kind of tired. Whew. Okay, continue. Free breath on your inhale. Exhale. Touch the mat with your fingertips. Inhale, chair. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hop back to plank through chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, get length. Exhale, step that right foot between the hands. Inhale, come up, square your chest with the side of the mat, and go down into warrior two. So we want to reach our fingertips as far as we can away from each other, keeping your collarbones wide and your shoulders dropped away from your ears, trying not to have tension in the neck. And breathe here, gazing over the front fingertips. Inhale, square your torso with the front of the mat. Come up onto that front foot. We're going to balance straight leg or bent leg, and then reach your hands out in front of you and breathe here. And reaching the crown of your head forward, and then your foot as far back as possible. Come back down to warrior two. Inhale, straighten the front leg and reach the front arm up and back, and then exhale, lunge into that front leg. Exhale, windmill your arms back down, step into plank. Inhale here, exhale chaturanga, inhale upward facing dog, exhale downward facing dog. Inhale, get length, exhale, step the left foot between the hands and come up for warrior two. Widening the collarbones, letting your shoulders drop away from your ears. Lengthen your tailbone towards the mat, and breathe here. And exhale, transition into that left foot. Inhale, bring your arms up and forward and reach. Oh. Exhale, bring that back foot down. Back into warrior two. Inhale, straighten that front leg. Reach the left arm up and back. Exhale, bend deep into that front knee. And breathe here. Exhale, windmill the arms back down, step back into plank. Inhale. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, get length. Exhale, step the right foot in between the hands, and we're going to do triangle. So I recommend having your back foot at a 45-degree angle with your toes in front of your heel. And you can either, maybe block is where I'd start if you haven't really done this before. Press into both the feet evenly, and with your grounded hand, which should be your right hand, press into your block, open up through the chest, and reach your left hand up. And maybe you don't need to block, maybe you could go a little bit deeper onto your fingertips, like this. Maybe hand flat, or even your hand on the outside of the foot. And then on your next exhale, we're going to transition our weight into the front foot, place our hand, a couple of handprints forward into the right of our front foot, firmly pressing into the ground, bring that back leg up, press the heel into the back of the mat, and reach for half moon. Exhale, come back down, return to plank. Inhale here. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, get length. Exhale, step the left foot between the hands. Plant that back foot and at an angle. And we're going to do a triangle on the second side. So feel free to like kind of play around with the positioning of your feet. Sometimes I like to, it doesn't feel quite right, so I gotta bring my heel in a little bit, or even taking a wider stance or narrower, seeing what works for you. But always press into the rooted arm, whether it's on a block, on the floor, or whatever, and reach up. And then on your next exhale, transition the weight into that front foot. Plant the left hand on the ground, or on the block. I forgot about that. That might be way easier for people who haven't done this before. And then reach that back heel as far back as possible. Lengthen the crown forward and look up. Exhale, return to plank. Inhale here. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, get length. Exhale, step the right foot between the hands for revolved triangle. And so this one, a little bit more tricky than regular triangle. So you place with your right foot, you place your right foot in the front, your left foot in the front, and you twist into the hips, reaching your right arm up. So you can play around with how deep you can get. And the front knee can be bent a little bit, that doesn't matter too much. But really focus on pressing that hand to allow yourself to deepen into that twist. And engage the musculature in the lower belly to hollow out and allow yourself to go deeper. And then on your next exhale, we're going to transition our weight into that front foot. And that left hand, place it out into the side. And then inhale, bring your right arm up. And look up if possible. Sometimes it's hard for people to even reach their arm up, so wherever you are, that's fine. Of course, use a block if need be. Exhale, return to the mat and come into plank. Inhale here. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, getting length. Exhale, step the foot between the hands. Straighten the front leg and come into revolving triangle on the second side. I'm sweating. And then exhale, transition the weight to that front foot. Plant the right hand to the front and to the side. And open. And what helps to open a little bit is dropping the hip of the lifted leg to allow yourself to turn into the standing leg. Exhale, step back into plank. Inhale here. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, get length. Exhale, come through, whether you jump through or you can just, find your way into a seated position. Ooh. And then for this first stretch, we're just gonna bend our right knee. And then inhaling, reach our left arm up. Exhale, twist to our right, pinning the elbow on the outside of the knee, and look over our right shoulder. Inhale, look forward, release. Exhale, come up, come back into plank. Inhale here. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, get length. Exhale, jump through. And let's bend that left knee. Inhale, bring the right arm up, straighten your spine. Exhale, twist to the left. And breathe here. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, find your way through to plank. Inhale here. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, get length. Exhale, come through. And then we're going to bring our hands back behind us a little bit. We'll get our fingers spread evenly. And then on our next inhale, press up, point the toes forward, and breathe here. Bringing your heart up to the sky. Exhale, come back down. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, forward fold over those legs. Inhale, come up. And then exhale, go back into plank. Inhale here. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, get length. Exhale, step the right foot between the hands. Drop your left knee. Reach up and breathe. You can stay here or option to bend that left knee, catch the back foot, and you can either stay here with it, you could bend your elbow, pressing your heel closer to your butt, or pressing the foot to the back of the mat and lengthening that, pulling the shoulder open. Inhale, straighten that front leg. Exhale, fold over that leg. Inhale, come back into plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, get length. Exhale, step the left foot between your hands. Inhale, come up. Option to stay here, or you can bend that back knee, catching the right foot, and breathe. Inhale, come up, drop the back foot, straighten the front leg. Exhale, fold over the leg. Inhale, step into plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, get length. Exhale, come through onto your butt. Whew. And then we're gonna do this last little sequence before Shavasana. So if it's available to you, or if you want to try, you could get into lotus. But for lotus, I recommend pulling your foot, the top of your foot back up towards your knee. So your heel is pressing out and your toes are pulling back. And then placing it on your thigh. And then, you'll see if it's available to you or not. Don't overdo it. You really can hurt your knee. I've done it. Just do what feels right for you. Or just have your legs out in front of you. Come on up. Exhale, come down onto your back. Getting along in the back of the neck. So if you're in lotus, stay like how I am. But if your legs are just straight up, have them just going up above your hips. And you could stay in here if you like that, or you can come into a shoulder stand. So kick your butt up and press your hands into your mid-back to keep you stable, and really press into your shoulder blades, maybe creating a little lift in the back of your neck. Keep your neck straight. Don't look left or right. If this doesn't work for you, come back down. It's not worth a neck injury. And then exhale. Place your hands out, reaching towards the front of the mat. And then drop slowly, vertebrae by vertebrae. Have your feet stacked over your hips, legs straight, and breathe here. And then roll up and find your way back into plank for our last little vinyasa. Inhale here. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, get length. Exhale, come through. Turn around. Let them lay it back. Have your feet wider than your hips and your hands wider than your feet. Palms up. And breathe. Drop all effort that you were using to go deep into these poses. Let your body just melt into the floor like a dropped ice cream cone on the sidewalk in mid-July. And feel free to stay here longer. You pause the video and just lie here, or bend your knees and roll off to the more open side. And take your time coming up and finding yourself in the cross-legged position, your choice. Inhale, reach the arms up to the sky. Exhale, back down to your heart. Thank you for joining me.